Good morning. 50% more sleep last night than the previous nights. Anyway, that was 50% more is like 4.5 hours, just in case you don't know. The title for today is The OPPT Declares Absolute Truth. Frankly, those words, absolute truth, carry a certain amount of foreboding for me. Usually when people have tended to use those or similar phrases, they are trying to impose some kind of dogma on those that have a different point of view. For example, whenever I've heard anyone claim that theirs is the true church or the right religion, I've tended to run fast in the other direction. There is very little wisdom and a lot of arrogance in such statements. I forgot is. With the OPPT, however, absolute truth has a different energy for me. No one is trying to push a particular viewpoint on anyone else, nor even trying to sell anything. On the contrary, the OPPT declares that we are all creation's children, born to be free, to be our unique selves and follow our own paths. To me, that is the absolute truth. And love, honor, respect, and trust spring from that truth. As I embrace myself in that truth, my inner child smiles, feeling safe to be real and authentic. That feels like liberation to me. Let me just fix this here. Okay. A little bit longer than usual meditation since I've been awake since 2 o'clock and up before 2:30 and in the meditation room for a good while. And then to the computer. And it's funny because I just read, just before I started this, I'm checking my wall. I was going to start wishing the birthday people a happy birthday. And when I went to my wall, I see a message here from a man named Martin who says, I'm taking a step back from all the things I disagree with, one people's trust and the Vatican guilty ruling. And he goes on to say that he believes that these are not substantive things, that they're just token things, that they don't make any difference. And each person is allowed to have their point of view. For me, the one people's public trust is the best thing that has come down the pike. And the Vatican guilty ruling is another one that is indicative of the change of paradigm that we are involved in right now. We are undergoing sweeping changes in consciousness, and that will have lasting and far-reaching effects and repercussions as the days and weeks and months unfold, and this becomes the reality for everyone. What impresses me about the One People's Trust and why I resonate so much with it is they're not trying to sell anything. They're not trying to push a particular religion or a particular ideology on anyone. They're using the structure that exists in the world to proclaim the absolute truth. The absolute truth of what the world system has been, the absolute truth of who we are, and the absolute truth of the matrix effects on human beings and ultimately on the planet and all life. This is the absolute truth. This is what we've created. This is what we've experienced as a result of that creation. And what are we going to do about it? We've created this structure. They use the structure, the Uniform Commercial Code, to resolve the issues. As I worked yesterday afternoon and into the early evening on my court documents, I had the sense of peace. I had the sense that my little child that I talked about yesterday, my little child is smiling because my inner child loves truth and loves love and doesn't like all of the pretenses that were forced upon it in this world. And the sense that I get from connecting with that part of me is that the future looks really, really good because the present feels really, really good. The present hasn't always felt good. I haven't always felt safe. And when I don't feel safe, neither does my inner child feel safe. But yesterday, as I worked on what usually takes me down, I was feeling safe. I was feeling elated. I was feeling strong and good about who I am and about what's happening in the world. I was feeling that, yes, I am grounding the energy of love and the kingdom of heaven, if you will, on earth. I'm achieving that which I came for, and that feels really good. Ultimate truth is, this is what I see for myself, and I get to create it. I get to experience it. I get to declare it to others. They can do whatever they want, but I'm creating my own reality in a sense and saying this is the way that I want to be dealt with. That's what I'm doing with the court. That's what I'm doing with the other actors and the other players in the court. And with the courtesy notice that I'm sending to everyone, I'm putting in writing the contract that enforces my desire to live my own life in freedom and to be and do what I feel is required of me and what I want, what I desire. It's not just required, it's what I want. I want to establish truth. I want to experience love. As I meditated this morning, I thought about relationships again. And I realize how much I've been imprisoned in concepts of relationship that I've been trained and bought into my whole life, not allowing myself to be free to actually experience people that love me and that I love back and that I choose to share my parts of my life with. And ultimately, maybe it will be that there will be that one special spiritual partner that I will share my life with. That's been a dream, but I'm re-looking at that. Maybe a whole bunch of people sharing love with me will be the way that ultimately leads me to the greatest blessing. I don't know. I thought that the relationship issues or the sexuality issues were going to be foremost in liberating a little child. But I saw yesterday, and I saw in the meditation this morning, that everything is affected when I let that little child be and express and do. And that's why I'm so grateful for Heather and all the people around the world that are getting behind this One People's Public Trust. Martin may not like it. He may not trust it. That's his choice. There's a lot of people that are going to feel like him because it changes things. But the changes are not going to happen with the snap of a finger. In other words, everyone is not going to all of a sudden agree to this and stop playing the old game. That's not how it's going to work. That would, if we could make that happen, it would be interesting. But I don't believe that's going to happen. What is going to happen is gradually more and more people are going to be waking up and the changes will gradually take effect so as not to have too rapid a shift that shakes everybody off of their foundation. It will be a learning curve. It will be a process. Just as the creation of a new human life is a process that takes 9 months in the womb and then a whole long time to reach maturity. And sometimes it's never reached in some people's lives, but in any case, it is a process. And that's how life is. That's the organic reality of life. It evolves or transforms and transmutes, and it goes through many changes. And the One People's Public Trust, seeking absolute truth and declaring absolute truth, is part of that process for us here on this planet. I can't understand how anybody could possibly explore this and listen to the many interviews and not realize how powerful and how potent this is for bringing about the changes that we've wanted as a collective, that we've wanted for so long, to live in a world where no one loses, where everyone wins. There's lots of issues that we're going to have to face. There's lots of decisions that we're going to have to make in how we rectify a bad situation and turn it around and make it something that is good for everyone ultimately. I don't know what all of those steps are, but there's a place within me that has deep wisdom. There's that divine spark that's always been there, that flame of freedom that's sometimes almost gone out, but it never went out. And we stand on the threshold of creating the world that I have longed for, that most, if not all of you, have longed for, even if it's not been put into words, even if your thought of it has not been totally coherent, even if it's just like a wisp. It's there. We want this because this is what we are created to be love, to be free, to know truth, to be able to be real and authentic, and not have to create defense mechanisms and wear masks and put armor on to protect ourselves from all the lies of the matrix, of the world that we've been living in. We're changing everything, and this is the absolute truth. Absolute truth liberates us and sets us free. And it's not a religion. It's not a political ideology. It's not a philosophy. It's just simply the bedrock truth. We are creation's children. You, me, everyone else. And if we allow ourselves to be, just be, children of creation, loving ourselves, we will automatically love each other. We will automatically create healthier relationships and a healthier world, a healthier society. We will automatically do that. And it's a process of remembering and awakening and coming home to the absolute truth, the bedrock truth of who we are. We are divine humans. Divine humans. Made in the image of the gods, with capabilities far beyond what we've been told. There is no limitation. There is no price tag on it. It is the absolute truth. And Heather and others have helped manifest that in legal and lawful form. And we're going through a spiritual awakening that will change everything, and is changing everything. This is the absolute truth. Thank you for listening. Namaste.